What's going on, everyone? This is Vince with vshred.com, and in today's video, I'm gonna be going over the top 10 bicep exercises that we have ever covered here on the vshred YouTube channel. So we've already done a video like this for abs, top 10 ab exercises. You can check that out if you want to up here. But in today's video, I'm gonna be showing you bicep exercises. And so if you're looking for some new exercises to throw into your arm workout today, I got 10 of the best for you.
Keep on going up till the lights go down.
All right, so like I said, in today's video, we're gonna be going over 10 of the top bicep exercises that we've ever done here on the YouTube channel. Jumping right into it, I'm gonna start with number 10, work our way down to number 1. At number 10, we have the Zottman Curl. So Zottman Curl is a little less known bicep exercise, what I've found, because most people are not doing it. They don't know what a Zottman Curl is. Basically, this is when you are supinating your wrists, so turning your palms up, curling the weight up, then turning your wrists over and lowering the weight down. The reason this is good is because you curl up, so you're obviously getting that curl to hit your bicep, but then you're also flipping your hand over and lowering it down, which is helping to hit that brachioradialis, so that big forearm muscle that makes your forearm look big. And so you're kind of getting the best of both worlds. It's a little harder to overload the muscle with this because you do have to go super controlled with the weight, which is why it's at number 10, but still a great exercise on its own. And then coming in at number 9, we have a very common bicep exercise, so kind of the opposite of the Zottman Curl. We have just a regular easy bar curl. So easy bar curl, a little easy bar with the little handle that goes in, and then it dips down, and then it dips up, and then it connects in the middle. So really you can pick either grip that you want, whichever is more comfortable for you. Generally, I like to pick the outside grip so that my wrists are in a more comfortable position. Great at really working both heads of the bicep, probably a little more focused on the short head because your hands are a little more supinated. But a great exercise where you can overload the bicep muscle. Obviously, that's huge when you're trying to build any kind of muscle or get stronger. So this is definitely an exercise you can throw in at the beginning of your workout to really get to that fatigue, or you can even use this as a finisher. And then coming in at number 8, we have another more unique style of curl. We have a spider curl. So I don't see this type of curl done at the gym very often, but I personally absolutely love this type of curl. Basically, you're getting on a bench and you're leaning over and you're letting your arms, your elbows hang in front of you, and you're keeping your elbow in that same position, and then you're curling this weight up. This exercise is going to be phenomenal for that short head, so that inner head of your bicep. So really focusing on the thickness of your bicep. So from the front of your body, if you want your biceps to be thicker, try throwing this exercise into your regimen. But again, as you're hanging down, make sure that you're not letting your elbows come forward. You're also not letting your elbows come back. Keep them in that same spot and really focus on controlled tempo and controlling the weight rather than letting the weight control you. And then coming in at number 7, we have a dumbbell hammer curl. So this is an exercise that I think pretty much everybody knows what it is, but the hammer curl is a great exercise and is a staple bicep exercise for a good reason. The hammer curl is a great exercise for the long head of the bicep, and so that outer head, so it makes your biceps kind of look bigger from the side of your body, but it's also good for that brachioradialis like I talked about, because your hands are neutral the whole time. Also, a great exercise that you can use in the beginning of your workout, because you can usually go a little bit heavier because your hands aren't supinated or pronated. So because they're in that neutral position, you're gonna feel a little bit stronger as you're doing it. So you can do it with heavier weight in the beginning to overload the muscle, or you can do it at the end of your bicep workout, but still be able to use a decent amount of weight because you're stronger in that position. And then coming in at number 6, we had to throw it in, the alternating dumbbell curl. I think this is probably the most common bicep exercise that you see done at the gym. Basically, you just have 2 dumbbells and you're going back and forth with the curl. So you're alternating the curls. You're basically starting with your hands at a neutral position, and then as you curl this weight up, you're taking your palm and you're turning it up. So you're supinating your wrists. And one thing that's really good about this exercise is that supination as you curl up. And so what happens when you supinate your wrist, you can literally see it with my bicep right now. Wrist is supinated. When I take it to a neutral position, my bicep is actually going to lengthen a little bit. Watch. So just that little bit of supination with your wrist is gonna make a big difference as you're curling this weight. So this is a great exercise for both heads of the bicep, but also really good for that short head because of that supination as you curl. But you can also load up the weight on this type of exercise. I don't recommend loading it up just to load it up. Also, making sure that you're not lifting with your ego is gonna be huge for all of these bicep exercises. The number one way I've built my biceps is by going light and controlled with my form. So keep that in mind, even when you're doing a very basic exercise like the alternating bicep curl. All right, and then before we get into the top 5 bicep exercises, I just want to quickly say, when you're going to do your bicep workout, and if you're pulling some exercises from this video, do not do all 10 of these exercises. Pick 2 or 3, maybe 4 max, and then do 3 or 4 sets. Typically, I like to go higher rep. That's how I've built my arms at least. But try out and find what works for you and play with the form a little bit. Always stay controlled with it. Don't lift with your ego. I mean, it's the same thing when it comes to getting in shape. When you're trying to burn fat or you're trying to build muscle or lose weight, you can't do just what everybody else does or what worked for your best friend. You have to figure out where you're at right now and then where you ultimately want to be. And so you got to figure out what your body type is and then do what's best for your body type. And if you don't know what your body type is, we do have a free body type quiz that tells you what your body type is and tells you what you should do if you are that body type. So if you want to check that out, I'll put a link to it down in the description below. Getting into number 5 now, we have a reverse curl. So reverse curl, like I was talking about a little bit earlier, you have that brachioradialis, which is kind of like that forearm muscle. It connects right here in the middle of your forearm and goes up to your arms. So this is what helps make your forearms look bigger. The reverse curl is one of the absolute best exercises for making your forearms look bigger while still hitting your biceps. And so if you're trying to build your forearms, make sure you're throwing in some sort of reverse curl. Basically, you're just grabbing either a straight bar or an easy bar, or you can even do dumbbells, and you're just keeping your palms facing down the whole time. So as you curl up and let it back down, your palms are down towards the ground the whole time. But stay controlled with your form. And then coming in at number 4, we have another staple exercise that I do in almost every single bicep workout that I do. We have an easy bar preacher curl. So the preacher curl, you can do this on a machine, you can do this on a bench, you can do this on a bench that's made for preacher curls. So there's multiple different places you can do this, and most gyms will have some place that you can do a preacher curl of some sort. Basically, you're just getting either in a seated position or a standing position. Your elbow is going to be out in front of you, and you're going to basically rest your elbows on something. Make sure that your weight is being pushed down into your elbow. You don't want to be pulling your elbow up off this bench. You want to push your elbow into it and really focus on squeezing that weight up, squeezing at the top, and then lowering it back down slowly and not losing tension at the bottom. I think one of the biggest mistakes is people, they lower this weight down, they lose tension, and then they curl back up. If you focus on not losing tension at the bottom, I guarantee it's going to be twice as hard to get as many reps as you were in the first place. And coming in at number 3, we have the barbell curl. So put the barbell curl this high simply because there are a bunch of different variations of the barbell curl that you can do, and most gyms have some sort of barbell. And so whether it be a short barbell that's plate loaded, or a fixed bar, or an Olympic bar that you don't throw any weight on, you just do 45 pounds, whatever you want to do, a barbell curl is a great go-to. Because you can do it early in your bicep workout and you can overload the muscle and go pretty heavy. You can also do force to negatives, which I've talked about here on the channel, where you throw the weight up and then you lower it down super slowly to overload the muscle on that negative, that eccentric contraction. There's so many different ways to do a barbell curl, which is why it's so high on this list. Just again, make sure that you are focusing on form and trying to get quality reps rather than quantities of reps. And then coming in at number 2, almost there to number 1, we have another staple exercise that you can do at pretty much any gym as long as it has a cable, and this is just a cable curl. So with a cable curl, you can do this with a bunch of different attachments. You can do it with an easy bar attachment, you can do it with a straight bar attachment, you can do it even with a rope attachment, you can do it with 2 handles as the attachment. There's so many different ways you can do this. All you need is a cable, put it down at the bottom, and then I just always make sure that I am keeping good form with cables, because you got to be really careful when you're down at the bottom. The cable is going to be pulling a little forward. So I try to make sure that I'm not going all the way down to the bottom to where I'm resting my biceps. I'm kind of stopping an inch or 2 before the bottom so that I can keep tension. And then I'm curling that weight up, squeezing at the top, pulling into my body, also keeping my elbows a little forward, and then lowering it back down and not losing tension at the bottom again. So this is a great exercise that you can load the weight up, or you can do it at the end of the workout, use it as a finisher with a bunch of different attachments on it, just whatever feels best for you and your biceps. And then the number 1 top bicep exercise, my personal favorite, is the incline dumbbell curl. Great exercise to try out. Just make sure that those elbows, like I said, are staying behind your body the entire time. And you can do this with a neutral grip, like a hammer curl, or you can do this with a supinated grip so that your palms are facing up the whole time. And so the incline dumbbell curl, basically you're putting the bench up at almost like what you would do an incline bench with. And so you put it up at that incline, and then what you're doing is you're allowing your elbows to drop back behind your body. And this is the most important part of this exercise, is making sure that your elbows stay behind your body, because what's gonna happen is as they stay behind your body, you're gonna be putting your long head, so that outer head of your bicep that makes it look bigger from the side and also helps it pop right there, which is what I've been trying to get most, which is why I love this exercise. You're gonna be hitting that muscle more than you're gonna be hitting that short head or that inner head of your muscle. I've also found that it's a little bit harder for me to hit the long head, and this is the exercise that I found has helped me hit it the best. But you are gonna have to go a little bit lighter. I generally don't start my bicep workout with this because I like to overload the muscle first, and then I'll get into this exercise as the second or third or even the finisher exercise, because I do have to go lighter. I'm generally, to keep good form for 12 to 15 reps, I'm gonna be going maybe 20, 25 pounds tops, maybe even lighter than that if I'm already fatigued. So those are the top 10 bicep exercises that we've ever covered here on the vshred YouTube channel. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you're trying to build those biceps up and nothing is working, I guarantee if you do these exercises correctly and you do them consistently, you're eating the right macros, enough protein, the right amount of carbs, the right type of fats, you're going to build your biceps. It's as simple as that. I did it, and I was the skinniest guy you've ever seen back in the day. So it works. Just make sure that you're doing it and you're doing it right. But that's all for today, guys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure that you're clicking that thumbs up button below so that we know to keep making videos like this. If you have any video recommendations, throw them down in the comment section. We're always combing through the comments. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure you're smashing that subscribe button so that you're not missing out on future content. But that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.